going on, Conscious Crew? Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. You already know what we're here to get into, girl. It is going down in the Bravo universe. Very, 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 very sad breaking news to bring today. We're going to get into it. If I have time, I'm going to drop the link, let you guys pop off if that's what you guys want to do. But before we do so, please go ahead and run those likes all the way up. Bully the hell out of the like feature. We're going to need all of that because you guys know YouTube be doing the most. So we need to get the stream out into the algorithm and boost the virality of the video, etc. And you can do that free 99 by giving the king your wonderful, hardworking, consistent, always entertaining, informative, intellectual, sexy king a free like on the video. Also, if you enjoy everything that the king does here, you can always donate to the platform at $Consciouztv on Cash App and or paypal.me/Consciouztv, and that's conscious with the Z on the end, spelled just how it is here on the channel. Also, make sure that you have your notification bell set to all, and last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your MySpace, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give no damn where you in fact lay the link. Just let them whores know the real out live and in color. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Conscious Crew, hope you guys are having a wonderful week, and shout out to my baby mother Tiffany for the ridiculous piece of child support check. Thank you, baby mother, so much. I love you long time. You guys once again know that all donation links are in the description box below, as well as in the scroll at the right to bottom in red and black. Thank you so much, boo. God bless you. Yes, God. Oh, a belated happy birthday. Thank you so much. So you guys know that the king just turned 40 over this weekend. It bled into my birthday shenanigans, bled into this week. So, you know, I had a lot going on. I still have birthday shenanigans going on. So, yes, honey, the king is officially in the Miles High Club. I am almost to that mid-journey mark, which is really crazy. I'm so grateful, so appreciative. I couldn't be happier with everything inwardly and outwardly right now. So all praise goes to the Most High. So if you guys want to continue to shower the king and adore the king and light and love and the monies, baby, you guys can always do that at any of the available donation links, which are in the description box below. I love you guys for a long time, and I'm so happy to be here to continue to provide commentary and entertainment for you all. Also, you guys know that because my birthday was last Saturday, which ran right into the Megan Thee Stallion cyberstalking trial against failed blogger Milagro Scams, that I have not been able to really pay attention to the trial like I want to. However, I've been doing some midweek catching up because I was only able to keep a passive eyeball on all of the court updates. However, I'm going to have my boo, She Royal B, who's also a fellow content creator. She's also a long time Conscious Crew member. She's going to be on the platform with us tomorrow. She has been in the trial at the courthouse physically, and she's going to be coming through and giving us all of the things and talking her predictions, because this trial will be wrapping up next week. So you guys be on the lookout for that. I'm going to probably create the watch page before the night is out. So make sure that you guys set your reminder and thumbs up. We will be live and in color in the building on tomorrow with all of the follow-up. But we're here right now, you guys, to get into the Cash App yesterday. Let me check Ambi. Let me check Boo. Let me see here. Let me go ahead and shout out my baby mother. My baby mother Tiffany. My nasty piece of baby mama Tamara. Yep, Amber. Yep, period. Happy belated birthday. Thank you, baby mama. I definitely hearted your Cash App. Thank you to my baby mother Tiffany. Thank you. A lot of yees. A lot of Tiffany's. To my baby father Royce Reed. To my beautiful moderator and Auntie T. Trisha. Lee Williams. Rochelle. Thank you all so much. Okay? But enough of my positivity, girl. I am heartbroken, y'all. I'm distraught, honey, because the scheme that Todd came up with that led to a damn divorce, baby. I can't take it, y'all. I am just so upset. Like, what, Todd and Kandi? Like, I can't imagine what the variables would be that brought this relationship to a divorce, because it seems like all of the hardcore variables, all of the obstructions in the relationship, I would assume probably were laid out in the beginning, girl, because, you know, Miss Mama Joyce, girl, she was giving Todd a run for his money, baby. Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no river deep enough to kick me off your ass, baby. So I would assume, girl, that if you can make it through the first phase of Kandi and Todd's relationship, girl, that everything else got to feel simpler than Mama Joyce, girl. But apparently, there are things that we don't know, as well as maybe things that we've been able to extract over this 11-year period that have eventually led to the corroding and the disintegration of this coven between Todd and Kandi. I am so upset, girl. I was not expecting this in my 2025 bingo card, girl. It is like literally too much going on, girl, between these bitches not getting their snaps, girl, between, you know, Donald Lewinsky being on his knees for Bubba, girl, with the deep GAWD 3000, to the Kandi and Todd divorce, girl, like 2020, girl, the holidays, y'all couldn't wait to get through Christmas and New Year's to divorce, girl. Like, why y'all want to pull divorce right before Thanksgiving, right before Christmas, right before Hanukkah, girl? Like, what's the strategy? Why would you want to divorce a week from the holidays? Like, girl, we didn't really need this. And our algorithm, this is a mess, y'all. It's a mess. So let's get into it, girl, because Kandi officially has filed for divorce, girl. When she said she fly above, she flew right above the goddamn divorce courts, girl, okay? And dropped her application right down the chimney, girl. Kandi has exclusively spoken out to people.com. Once again, you guys, please run those likes all the way up, child. Yes, you guys, Real Housewives of Atlanta alum Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker split after 11 years of marriage, a difficult and emotional time. So people started speculating last night because Kandi had removed Tucker from her last name on Instagram, and then people also had been noticing that Kandi had not been seen with her wedding ring for some time now. And then there was also a very interesting conversation that Kandi had with Andy Cohen at BravoCon, apparently, where she kind of spoke about, you know, really appreciating Andy, especially at a time like this in her life. And there wasn't a lot of clarity about what that really meant until today, okay? So courtesy people.com, girl, Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker are going their separate ways after 11 years of marriage. Quote, after deep thought and a lot of prayer, I've made the decision to move forward with the divorce. This is a difficult and emotional time, but my focus remains on protecting my peace, being the best mother I can be, and co-parenting with love and respect, Burruss tells People in an exclusive statement. Quote, I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work, my family, and my own growth. I'm grateful to everyone who supported us throughout the years, and I ask for privacy, grace, and understanding as we navigate this transition in our family. Burruss, 49 years of age, and her producer husband, Tucker, 52 years of age, met while filming the 4th season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta in 2011 and announced their engagement in January 2013. 2 years later, they tied the knot the following year in April. Since then, the pair have welcomed 2 children, son Ace, 9 years of age, and daughter Blaze, 5. Both also have children from previous relationships, Burruss' daughter Riley, 23, and Tucker's daughter Kayla, 29 years of age. In October of 2022, Burruss told People the secret to their happy marriage was just great communication and having fun together. Quote, "We have a real understanding of each other," she added. The pair also teamed up professionally on a variety of projects, a soul food restaurant chain in Georgia, a trucking company, and a Bravo series about their family and the restaurant business are just a few of their collaborations. On November 14th, right before my birthday, Burruss was awarded the Lifetime, God forbid, Achievement Award at the Bravo during BravoCon 2025 in Las Vegas and thanked Tucker in her acceptance speech. Quote, "To Todd, thank you for surviving the blogs, the shade, the rumors, the lies, the truth, the almost fights, the actual fights, the reunions. You earned this award too," she said. Oh my God, I want to cry. Oh God, I want to cry so bad. Oh my God, I want to cry, you guys. This is so sad. Oh, girl, get me a bush. Drop my bush in the chat, you guys. I need a bush to go and weep in. Where is my bush? So I can go and weep. I am destroyed right now. The singer-songwriter who made the Broadway debut in Chicago in 2018 and will make her Broadway return on December 11th, starring in And Juliet, which will run through March 8th, has since built an impressive resume as a theater producer. She earned a Tony Award nomination for The Piano Lesson and produced acclaimed revivals, including The Wiz, The Piano Lesson, Thoughts of a Colored Man, and last season's Othello, led by Denzel and Jake Gyllenhaal. Burruss previously shared with People that the former couple's career ambitions were quite aligned. Quote, "We have intertwined our wants and desires," she told People. "We have all these dreams, and sometimes I'll be out of the box, but he still be like, okay, babes, let's do it." In honor of their 8th wedding anniversary, in March of 2022, the reality star shared a video montage featuring photos of her and Tucker together, set to her song Forever Love, featuring Q Parker. The images were captured throughout the years and included the couple smiling with their marriage license as well as together and on the red carpet. Quote, "We've got that forever kind of happy anniversary, my love. At Todd167, she captioned the clip. You were the perfect man for me. I'm better with you. 8 years down." Oh my God, this is so sad, y'all. I can't take it, y'all. I can't take it, girl. Look at the montage. Oh my God. My makeup. Jeez, oh God, we can't play the music, okay. This is so sad. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Oh, they're so gorgeous together and they're the same height. My God, this was her. Forever 4'12". Jesus. 2 little munchkins. Just horny and happy and entrepreneurial. What's the problem? What's the issue? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Oh, this is breaking my heart. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Oh my God. This is so sad. Oh, this feels like my auntie and uncle divorcing. Okay, the article goes on. It says the Tucker opted to post a photo slideshow of the couple and echoed his wife's sentiments about their everlasting romance. Quote, 8 years of blessings. God is so amazing. He makes no mistakes. We have a forever kind of love. He wrote in the caption, I look forward to our future and a lifetime of love. Happy anniversary to my amazing wife, Kandi. I love you. Okay, now to the mess. What happened then? Now, I'm going to try to break this down very systematically, okay? Now, I'm a stickler for nuance and a particular for language. Now, they're using a forever kind of love. Forever kind of love. Forever kind of love. People can still love each other and the relationship itself can expire. Carrie Bradshaw said something very profound and beautiful on Sex and the City, girl, some seasons ago when she said that, even short-lived fairy tales are nonetheless fairy tales. I do think we live in a culture that puts an overemphasis on a lifetime together and till death does us part, but it oftentimes brings a diminishing of the value, the growth, the evolution, and the role that a person played in your life, even for a short time being, whether that be 6 months, 6 years, 16 years, 26 years, 56 years, 60 damn years. That impact transcends time. Somebody can have a lifelong impact on your life, and there are things that you could not have done, places you could not have gotten to in consciousness or in your material life without this person's contribution, and that still makes the relationship valuable, even if their relationship dissolves. Now, I think something that may have happened, because I see that there's a lot of conversation on social media right now about, well, what happened? This is what happens when you open up the bedroom. This is what happens when you have an open door policy. This is what happens when, that whole poly thing happens. We all know that Kandi Burruss is very unconventional in the way she sees relationships. She's spoken about having threesomes and, even her and Todd, enjoying them streaks together and, indulging in the things as long as the communication is there and the transparency is there. But I do not at all think that that's what led to the divorce. I mean, we are living in a country where 73% of monogamous relationships were imploding and ending in divorce. So an open door policy, I mean, while it can contribute to a breakdown in a relationship, doesn't in and of itself contribute to a breakdown in a relationship. And we can see that monogamy isn't doing any better in the long-lasting category either. I think that's something that possibly drove a wedge on top of all the obvious, the public pressure, the public ridicule, as Kandi said in her speech regarding the Lifetime Achievement Award, surviving her mama, surviving her mammy, and in that synthetica on her mama's head, girl. Beside the obvious, I think that Kandi and Todd probably both couldn't sit their ass down. They both are heavily ambitious. They both are profoundly driven, which is why they have all these businesses together, whether they failed, whether they were successful, whether they were short-lived, that nonetheless, they both are very ambitious people. And I think this more than likely contributed a lot to the slow, decrepit death of their romance. When you have two people who are very focused, always on the road, they always have their hands tied into something, that can take away from a lot of the intimacy. It can take away a lot from the quality of the romance in the relationship. It can create a distance unbeknownst to both parties. And so more than likely, all of that ambition is what really gave way for a lot of the issues that probably eventually led to the death. I mean, we've even seen Riley on Housewives, confronting her mom, saying, girl, you need to sit your ass down. Like, you got too much going on. Like, why are you and Todd even having another child when, you can barely raise me, girl? You can barely raise me, girl. Like, y'all doing too much. Y'all got too much going on. Like, we've seen Riley, a young adult Riley, have to tug on her mama's wig for being teen too much. Y'all want too much. Y'all trying to do too much. And unfortunately, we live in a world where you really can't have everything, because all things require balance. So for every one thing you give yourself to, you're offsetting another ecosystem in your life. And so that really nice equilibrium in your life between your personal independence, your personal ambitions, while also being mindful of how you're moving collectively as a unit, as a couple, as a family, as a friendship, whatever it is. All of that requires a delicate balancing act, and not everybody gets it right. And for those who fail at it, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's any nefarious intentions or that anybody did anything per se wrong. But when you don't get it right, implosion just simply happens. Now, I don't know, because a lot of people are saying that, Todd finna get a big bag. I don't know whether there is a prenuptial, because I do know that was a part of their storyline arc. Let me see here. Does Kandi Burruss have a prenup? Yes, Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker had a prenuptial agreement that was finalized shortly before their marriage in 2014. The prenup was a contentious issue during the planning of their marriage, but they ultimately agreed on its terms after a period of negotiation, which was featured on their show, Kandi's Wedding. Okay, yeah, because I would assume, girl, Kandi is pretty good with her business. I can't imagine that she went into this marriage with a prenup, but we don't know the details, right? More than likely, the details for a girl like Kandi, who came into the marriage with a whole lot, was probably that I'm going to keep what the hell I worked for and that I obtained prior to you entering the group chat, and then we'll just split 50-50 everything we earn and create together within the relationship. That more than likely probably was the agreement, girl. Everybody would keep what they had to themselves that they came into the relationship with, and whatever they created and did together, they would just split 50-50 in the hypothetical of a divorce or breakdown. Now, this write-up also says that the couple nearly called off their wedding due to disagreements over the prenup's clauses. Todd Tucker initially refused to sign the agreement, calling some of its terms unfair. During the negotiations, Kandi Burruss defended the prenup, stating that she needed to protect herself as the financially wealthier partner, and stating that she refused to pay spousal support. Other contentious points included clauses about what would happen with their home if they divorced. After Burruss and Tucker each consulted with their attorneys, they were able to revise the agreement and reach a compromise. The final agreement was signed, and they proceeded with their marriage. So now that there is a divorce, we're going to learn probably a lot more about the nuance of their prenuptial agreement, girl, because they're now going to have to battle it out in court. Custody, child support, properties being divided and disseminated accordingly, girl. So it's going to be interesting to see whether the divorce brings out the ugly in this couple, because a couple can come to really loving terms when it comes to breaking up and understanding that, look, we love each other, but, we've grown apart, the romance has dissolved, etc., girl. But that divorce, girl, the aftermath of divorce, girl, the litigating of it all can definitely stimulate egos and things can get really nasty. And I really hope that her and Todd are going to be able to hold on to respectfully litigating each other in the aftermath of the dissolution of their relationship. I also just wonder how much effort Kandi and Todd put into saving their relationship. I wonder if there's been couples therapy, if there's been individual therapy. I just wonder, you know, did they allow TD Jakes to referee their relationship like TD Jakes felt to do between Carry On and Kurt Franklin? You know, I'm just wondering, you know, what 11 years to come this far, and you know, they seemingly do have a friendship. And this is another thing too. I hope that they didn't purely divorce because of the dissolving and destruction of the romance, if they still had a great friendship underneath, because something that we also do in this conversation and framework around marriage is that we really prioritize romance, which I do think is important to a sexually, sensually intimate relationship is romance for sure. But at the same time, every psychiatrist will tell you that friendship is the ultimate foundation to every successful long-term relationship. And if you live long enough and you've endured a romance long enough, you will know that romance is flickering. Romance comes and goes. Some weeks and months you got the butterflies from your partner, and then other times your partner just feels like a fucking love sofa. You know, they're just kind of a part of the house. They're just a part of the routine. You know, it doesn't feel so special and spectacular, but the partnership still exists because the friendship still exists. And even when there is no romance, you're still able to pivot into the other workable parts of the relationship, such as the ability to make each other laugh, the fact that y'all enjoy each other's time, literally as best friends. And you know, so it's really important to develop a friendship in romance, because if you're just leading from romance, girl, like you got to be giving me the butterflies, girl, like you got to be putting me in my Alicia Keys Songs of a Minor bag, okay? Like, I got to feel the things all the time. If that's your framework and your attitude, more than likely you're going to have a lot of problems, because, you know, even the best of romanticizers, even the best of hopeless romantics, you know, fail to sustain that consistently for years. It's just human nature for things to feel mundane. Once you get locked into routine, you know, it feels pretty bland, and that's all normal. What nobody tells us is that that's also normal. What nobody really tells us about long-term romance is that blandness is a normal part of a successful and healthy relationship, that everything doesn't have to feel like goddamn 4th of July fireworks in your soul, that there are days where it just feels like he's just the damn friend or she's just the damn friend. And those are the regular motions of human nature, human psychology. It doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. And if things stay mundane for too long, then that's when you realize, all right, you know, we need to plan some romance here. We need to, you know, plan the fuck on the rooftop next week. You know, we need to do something spontaneous, and, you know, we need to have some more, we need to plan our dates out, plan our sex out, okay? Because when you also are in business and you have children, it can be very easy for the romance and the intimacy of it all to dwindle, but it is just about priorities. So, you know, we don't have a lot of details right now, but since the couple just literally, like, since Kandi just celebrated a Lifetime Achievement Award and she spoke so well, it doesn't seem like anything too dark and nefarious is happening here. More than likely, Kandi and Todd was just two over-ambitious people, and their romance just kind of got swallowed up in both of their extreme ambitions. We know that Kandi has continued to write music, stay in the studio. She's a part of reality TV. She has all these shared businesses with her man. She writes for other chart-topping artists. She has a SCX toy line. I mean, Todd has 50-11 restaurants. You know, he's socialized as a man to stay active as well, to stay busy, especially since Kandi is the more successful partner. So I think that probably also motivates him to stay really active in finding his niche and making sure that he is seen as a valuable asset to the relationship. All these things can indirectly just lead to distancing romantically. Now, a lot of people are also calling Todd an opportunist. I don't feel that way. I mean, I don't really know what makes people feel that way. Todd was a successful producer. He was locked into a successful network, aka Bravo. That's how him and Todd even met, when that damn voodoo priestess over in Africa girl told her that your man, Kandi, is right here, right now. She said, "Whoop, who said that?" "Oh, yes, girl, your man is right here, girl. Right here in Africa, girl, right here. You flew above, but you didn't look down to see your man is here." And that man was, in fact, Todd. So I don't think Todd was an opportunist per se. And I also don't think there's anything wrong with per se being an opportunist either, because, I think it's okay for people to have standards. I think it's okay for people to consider everything when it comes to partnership, especially marriage. Todd should want a successful woman. He should not want some broken down ass, non-ambitious, ain't got shit going for herself ass type of a woman. And Kandi shouldn't want no ain't shit ass ninja who ain't got shit to show for himself either. So even this idea of opportunist, as if everybody don't have standards. It's okay for Todd to have standards. It's okay for Todd to be attracted to Kandi having a name for herself and carving out a legacy for herself. Those are all attractive features, and vice versa. But yeah, I'm really, 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 really sad for Kandi and Todd. And now I think officially we don't have any current married housewives. Everybody is divorced or either widowed at this motherfucking point. Give Todd the Mexican restaurant he opened, and that's it. I don't believe Todd was an opportunist. I don't either, Joshua. Let me see some of the comments here. I would let Todd have the restaurant with the dry cornbread. Y'all is a mess, child. He wasn't an opportunist, okay? They say phony Faye had to force him on Kandi back in the day when he was a producer. Yep, I remember her having her hand in it. One thing Kandi is about her bad, she's too smart to have the coins compromised. I agree, CTV. You cannot, I repeat, cannot fake attraction with someone either. If Todd knew from conception that she wasn't his type, it was bound to happen. He wanted to do his own entrepreneurial ventures. He worked on hers, and it was his time, and she wanted him around. Yes, divorce does get nasty. I think she didn't want him on the road alone and a lot. And I do remember we also covered Todd's there was a conversation that got started on social media due to a clip from Todd's YouTube channel where Todd was talking to Kandi and her glam squad, and they kind of got into this pickle about men staying out late or coming home late or him coming home late. And, just the ins and outs and all of that, girl. And Kandi, was, I think, feeling like, men, that her man, that partner should be considerate and mindful. We know that also this conversation came up on Housewives, girl, because at one point in time, Peter, Apollo, Todd then was running around to the strip clubs and everything, child, still acting like 21-year-olds. And there was conversations and disputes, about that behavior. Some of the girls were okay with it. Some of the girls was like, girl, I would tolerate that behavior, but I prefer my man to have his ass home with my titty in his mouth. So, it's been a lot. It's very interesting when it comes to relationship dynamics and what works for whom. What's going on, Medusa? Hey, boo. Yes, 11 years, I would say, is successful, especially in the age of a relentless, negative, nitpicking mother-in-law, especially in the wake of being a public couple and all of the scrutiny and pressure and conspiracies and all of the negative energy that's just projected onto you metaphysically when you are not available for public consumption. And then just dealing with the level that they're at in terms of success and all of the major responsibilities they have, for them to have in all of that survive 11 freaking years. I mean, my God, today I have to give it to them. But on the other side of that argument does come into play this phenomenon called the reality TV curse. And if you guys haven't heard about the reality TV couples curse, because you know, very few people's relationship, girl, hold up. Let me read this right up. Okay, the reality couples curse is a term for the high rate of divorce or breakups amongst couples who appear on reality television shows. While the curse is likely due to a combination of increased public scrutiny, pressure, and potential pre-existing issues being amplified by filming it, has become a popular concept due to the numerous high-profile splits from shows like The Real Housewives and The Bachelorette. Okay, examples are Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey, Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom, Kim Kardashian and all her goddamn marriages, Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott. You know, the list goes on and on and on and on. Let me see how many reality TV couples have separated. Let me see. Reality TV couples who separated. You guys thumbs up. Who separated? Let me see. See if we can get an exhaustive list here. Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey, John and Kate Gosselin, Bethany Frankel and Jason Hopper, Camille and Kelsey, Jax Taylor, Stassi Schroeder, Chloe and Lamar, Chris Hemphrey and Kim, Tamra and Simon, Tamar and Vince, Travis Barker, and whomever the hell, they don't even got his lady listed here, Michael Halterman and Amy Slayton, Britney Spears and Kevin Federline, who also had a very public relationship, or all her ninjas, you know, her and Justin, her and her husband, Cynthia and Peter, Phaedra and Apollo, Cynthia and her lesbian, Chris and Bruce. Oh, girl, this really is an exhaustive list. My God, today, almost everybody lost their shit. Jesus. Yeah, Grace, this goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Yes, girl, all the marriages. Mama Joyce was right, but everybody wanted to give, oh, please. Mama Joyce wasn't right about a damn thing. Mama Joyce is a problem in and of herself. She is overbearing. It was interesting that she gave Todd so much scrutiny in the relationship, but Kandi exposed Mama Joyce and her Synthetica during the reunion when she was like, girl, don't you recall running up my Cohen, girl, spending up all my goddamn money, girl, on Dish Network, girl, and on a home shopping network and things, girl, blowing through your SSI, blowing through your government assistance, girl, blowing through all my fly above royalties, girl. So, you know, I'm not going to glorify Miss Lady, because it's not like Mama Joyce has a successful marriage to speak of for herself, and I find that a lot of her behavior throughout the years when it came to both of Kandi's partners was completely inappropriate. And I blame Kandi for not chin checking her mama enough and creating some very strong boundaries, because at the end of the day, Kandi wasn't married to Mama Joyce. He was married to Kandi. And so that river and that mountain should have been the line of demarcation between Miss Mama and her feeling so entitled to terrorize their relationship when their relationship already has enough pressure as it is. I don't know what Mama Joyce would be mad at. It actually can be argued that had Mama Joyce equally been a mother-in-law to Todd, that maybe this relationship and marriage could have been salvageable if she actually had invested that same energy into being supportive emotionally and mentally to both Todd and Kandi as a couple, being a grounded grandmother, etc. Girl, that she could have helped potentially to alleviate some of the issues that eventually led to the breakdown. You know what's so funny about marriage, right? Is that the whole point of a marital ceremony being done before your friends and family is because the friends and family symbolizes the village that is supposed to be in place to help these two human beings to survive their egos with each other, to survive their egotisms, to help to be their separate set of eyes, to keep them accountable, to keep them reminded of the goal and the agenda at hand. And so when you have that same community that's supposed to be a safe place for the marriage, for the relationship, those community members are supposed to be safe people to confide in, actually being ops and being enemies. Oh yeah, that can be a whole problem in and of itself. And, you know, Kandi made it clear that she didn't want to give up her man, nor did she want to give up her mama. But as a conscious crew member said in the chat, what Mama Joyce did, unfortunately, is contribute to her daughter being, you know, a single maiden, just like she is. And I think that's unfortunate because these two people have children together, children who are not adults, children who are probably going to be very hurt and traumatized by divorce, as divorce is very traumatizing. Kourtney Kardashian didn't even want to get married for the longest because of how traumatizing it was to watch her parents divorce. This is why she moved so far away from the idea of marriage. So, you know, I don't find Mama Joyce's behavior to have been cute. It was entertaining at times, but in reality, in the real world, her behavior was absolutely deplorable. And it can be argued that had she been more supportive and gotten out of her own way and truly prioritized Kandi's happiness and realized that Todd's well-being and mental health was also going to be essential to Kandi's happiness because they're a couple, so it's all tethered together. You can't terrorize her partner and then also expect Todd to be able to show up at his best when you're not even supporting his best because you're so busy trying to find the loophole. You're so busy trying to find the enemy and the villain in him. You're so committed to, you know, putting all this terror in your daughter and making her confused and have to wrestle with her decision. That's not the way for anybody to live. Essentially, what we really witnessed over this 11-year period of Todd and Kandi being married is Mama Joyce narcissistically abusing her daughter. What we really watched was parental narcissism at work. And unfortunately, Kandi acted like a classic victim of parental narcissism. And it was really cringy and sad to see. Mama Joyce crossed many of boundaries. She did, and it was a huge problem in Kandi's marriage. What's going on, Hottie? Hey, Boo. Hey, Tracy. Hey, you all. They were introducing people when they hadn't even been married long. Like, dang, learn each other first. Most don't even dip into that until decades of marriage when they're trying to spice things up. In my experience, the family isn't supportive. My husband and I are out here winging it, and that is so sad. It's so sad, especially if there's no real genuine, like if there's no legit concern there. It's just people being paranoid. It's just people being egotistical. It's just people projecting their own, marriage failure onto you, unless there's a real reason, like, the relationship is abusive, there's drugs, there's physical violence, there's, intentional and malicious neglect of the marriage or the household. If those elements don't exist and the family is just doing the most, that is so tragic. And, a lot of couples have had to separate from their families in order to have a peace of mind in their relationships. The part Kandi stayed crying and wore out behind that food, especially when they have children together. Yes, that's the saddest part here, is that, this is a nuclear household. And there are children who are going to be impacted by this. And I just don't like that. It's so sad. And it actually makes me even more aggravated with Mama Joyce, especially since Todd also lost his own mother during this relationship. And to have had Mama Joyce be not only at odds with him, but to have been nasty and synthetic toward his mother, and then had to continue to forge ahead. Like, I'm not at all going to, I think, a lot of the public dehumanizes the hell out of Todd, but Todd really endured a lot of bullshit that was unnecessary. And the way he was treated was very fucking cruel. It was cruel. It was cruel. And Mama Joyce not letting up and giving him some fake ass, I'll be here halfway condolence, in the aftermath of it, and then to go back and revert to her bullshit. Like, oh my God, like, it's just too much. It's no real reason. It's projection. My mom and dad got divorced when I was around 3, and she still holds a lot of bitterness. Yeah. A lot of people do that. They project. So you got to clear the path of those projectors. She sure was. Oh no, I'm so sad to hear the news. Hey, Royce. I've always felt that Mama Joyce wanted all of Kandi's men, especially. God damn it. I thought you was going to say all of Kandi's money, baby. Royce said all of Kandi's men's, girl. Especially that last one, girl. That last one who had passed away. Girl, he was a cutie patootie. Men, especially Todd. That's why she always tried to sabotage her daughter's relationship. Girl, look. How far do we need to, jump down the rabbit hole, girl? Because it seems to me that also, Mama Joyce is having a very inappropriate emotional relationship to her daughter. Kind of like how sometimes moms have a very inappropriate emotional relationship to their sons. We never talk about moms having an inappropriate relationship to the daughters. Because I think Mama Joyce, because we learned that Mama Joyce and Kandi's father weren't also on the best of terms. There was bitterness and resentfulness there, etc. So it seems that happened to Kandi as well, girl, where Mama Joyce was projecting her bitterness. She projected all of what she felt were her personal failures, and things that she weren't mindful of looking back in retrospect, and she chose to see all of that in every single relationship that Kandi had, which is nuts. But what's interesting? When Kandi was reportedly dating August, what's the man name? Austin, the producer. Austin, I think that's the same one that dated Chili. When we don't hear about Mama Joyce ass having an attitude with all of the men Kandi dated throughout the industry on her way up. Oh no, baby, we don't hear nothing about this Mama Joyce, girl. Mama Joyce's fixation was money, but here's the thing I always tell y'all. Women who are financially, Dallas Austin, thank you. Women who are very successful, they have the luxury of not having to focus on a man being more of a breadwinner than her, because the whole point of you being a high earner, the whole point of you being a six-figure woman is that you finally are in a position to where your survival doesn't have to be tethered to another person's economy. So these women can afford to consider other attributes aside from the coin, which is why Kandi may have wanted Todd more so for him being present for her, being there around her as she navigates her career, being more emotionally and physically present because she didn't need the money. This is why we see Rihanna, you know, in the position that, you know, she's in. You know, she's with a low earner. And I mean, hell, she's a billionaire. She doesn't have to care about ASAP Rocky's economics more so than she just gets to focus on, you know, you pumping me up with these babies and you just being able to be here and us being able to really just focus on our romance. Now that I don't need you for your car, I don't need you for your coin, I don't need you for your house because I'm the table at this point. I can do all that 3 times over for myself. So you get to have a different set of standards when you are the higher earner as a woman. We saw this with Keke Palmer, you know, and her essentially, quote unquote, dating down because it's a different world. When you are a broke woman, when you're a low income woman, when you're a middle class woman, you may have to feel like you still have to consider where a man is economically because you're still trying to survive sexism and you're still trying to survive inequality and you're still trying to survive all these things. And so having your partner being able to add to that may be important, but that's going to be determined by where you are economically. So all these women, low income, middle class, upper class, and then completely transcended to the billionaire, multi-millionaire status, these are different hierarchical systems. And it changes what women are focused upon as it relates to their dynamics with men. Okay, I'm going to drop the link now. In case anybody wants to come up and give a little 1-2, we are already at the 1 hour mark. I may give this 1.5 hours. So if you're coming up, you got to come now or forever hold your peace. Let me read some of the comments. So just drop the link in case anybody want to come up. What's going on, sister? Ari says, I think Kandi Dagan, I think she just should come on to you. I mean, she hasn't negated the fact that she's bisexual and she would drag some coochie down there to the dungeon, girl. She hasn't negated that, and I'm sure she has continued to do her fair share of munching. I just wonder if Todd is paying the outstanding bills at the restaurants he opened in Atlanta with her money. Kandi dated Dallas. I think I heard of them having a little squabble way back in the day when she was in Escape Chill. There being some rumors that they were together, you know, but she's definitely dated her fair share of producers and writers and other entertainers, etc. as she came up in the ranks earlier on in her career. Mama Joyce put some respect on my name. Mama Joyce caught the shots, and that's nasty work. Completely inappropriate, girl. And until Kandi get this part right here together, she don't deserve another man, and she should not be in another relationship to anyone until she decides whether she want to be romantically involved with her mama or be romantically involved with a man. Okay? She should not bring anybody else into this equation until she decides whether her spouse is going to be her mama or her man, because it can't be both. It cannot be both. Like Mama Evelyn and the Braxtons, Kandi needs to divorce her mom as well. Exactly. It's always bugged me when she swept her mom's behavior under the rug by saying that's my mama, she can do whatever. Yeah. And yeah, she can do whatever. Except put that good meat on your ass and hold you tight at night. Hold you real right is what you can't do, girl. Give you them babies is what you can't do. Give you that masculine comfort and protection is what she can't do. No, ma'am. He definitely did. He could have been the one to up and leave. I thought he would have already. Mama Joyce needed to be out their marriage, but Kandi allowed it. It's a mess. Kandi doesn't have to choose a side. She does, though. She has to, well, I'm not going to say she has to choose a side. She needs to create fences to separate sides, called boundaries. And what I would never do is have my partner be subjected to any of the negative characteristics of my family. I am very big on being kind to strangers. You know, I have family members who are very conservative and more on the religious side. You know, and so they hold a conservative attitude towards sexuality, even though they respect me as a two-spirited queer man. And I have had to send a memo ahead of time throughout the years to my family that I don't give a damn about y'all beliefs. I don't give a damn about none of that. If I bring my partner through, girl, and we're going to pooch through, you're going to treat them accordingly. I will not put up with you disrespecting people simply off of the strength of your personal feelings, your personal belief system, your Christian ideology. I don't give a damn about none of that. Because, baby, when you go low, you're going to have to put on a parachute, bitch, because the Grand Canyon is going to be open. I don't put up with no disrespect, and I don't disrespect anybody else's partnerships, etc., regardless of how I feel about your tired-ass husband, how I feel about your tired-ass wife, how I feel about your tired-ass baby daddy girl. I treat baby daddy just like I would treat anybody else. I treat baby mama like I would anybody else. So if I ain't projecting and doing that to your relationship, you're not going to do that to my relationship under any means necessary. Hey, Shauna. Okay, let me see here because your mic was up. Hey, boo.
Hello.
What's going on, girl? Sound off.
Okay, so just a couple of things. When I said Kandi doesn't have to choose a side, people are reading comments or just in general. Oh, it's like you have to be gay or straight. That annoys me. No, you don't have to be either. You know, it's that's not how it works. So there's one. Like they think they're. She's been saying she's fluid, so it's like it's not a burn to say she's bulldagging or whatever people say, which is.
Absolutely. Do you think Kandi should go ahead and give a good quality swing at a long time partner of the same sex? Can you hear us, Sean? I think your phone went out, boo. Uh-oh. I think we got some connection issues. We can't hear you, Sean. If you can hear us, we can't hear you. Okay, some doesn't happen, chat. Can y'all hear me? Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me. Maybe it's me, hell. My Wi-Fi might have clipped. Okay, there you go. All right.
You can hear me? Okay. I think I hit the wrong button. Okay, so what did you just say about
she'll take a walk on a wild side and bring in, take a swing at a long-term relationship to a member of the same sex, girl. Now, that will land on Mama Joyce's ass.
Oh, I think that Mama Joyce is fully aware of Kandi's dating history. She wouldn't accept, of course, a long-term female partner, which it wouldn't surprise me if Kandi has had one in the past, but just didn't tell her mom. Yeah, I mean, if she thinks Todd is a loser and he's a man, then she definitely wouldn't accept a woman. I think Kandi's gonna have to do that once Mama Joyce has been in the ground and gone to glory. We're a minute or two. Yeah, that Mama Joyce. I saw Royce was in the chat because I dipped out for a second, came back, and he said, even though I didn't see it, that Netflix Unknown Caller about that crazy mom. I said Mama Joyce is, I think, on that level. Maybe not. Yeah. If that lady's a 10, Mama Joyce is probably 8.5. Mm-hmm. Very close. And then the whole being sad nowadays, it's marriage isn't, well, a lot of things aren't what we thought and what they were. It's not necessary at this point in time to be married. Having contracts doesn't require marriage. Yeah. So it's like, 11 years, I wrote earlier, 11 years is a long time. A lot of people can't even make it 11 years. A lot of people can't even make it 1 year.
Days, yet alone 11 years.
Thank you. So it's not shocking to me. It's not surprising. It's like, and to be honest with you, they probably knew this about a year ago, that this announcement. they probably been separated for months, and this announcement, they're like,
And
wait till
planning
after
out.
Bravo.
Yeah. And
She
planning
don't
out
want
everything.
right. She don't want questions at BravoCon about, you know, her divorce. So it's like, well, let's just wait after BravoCon and then we can announce it. And people were talking about
right before the holidays.
okay.
Before the
Okay,
holidays.
this is I've been thinking
2026, the top of 2026.
okay, so this is what I've been thinking about for the longest time. I stopped liking Christmas when I was like 14 years old because I thought I recognized it was bullshit. You know, if I want to appreciate my family and give gifts, I can do that 364 days a year. And the people that are, it's really irritating me is what's going on, which it's nothing new what's going on in the world. It's just to a different degree, or maybe not so. It was more covert instead of overt. But you know, the holidays or whatever, we can appreciate and enjoy family. We don't need a day. We all know this to do that. So it's like the holidays are going to be what they are, and especially at this point in time, who wants to celebrate? I mean, people should celebrate your family, but celebrate them tomorrow. Yesterday, it's like waiting for Thanksgiving, even though Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday because of the food, you know. But Christmas,
it's such a you know a festive time. It's culturally, you know, it's everybody coming together. Is everybody?
Yeah, but I think it's losing its luster because how many times have you? Okay, I'll just speak for myself. Clicking through, and they're like, how to deal with your fucking family. That's how many. I endless videos on that. It's like, you know what? At this point in time, if something is not serving you, get rid of it. Whether it's your family, it's your uncle who always makes inappropriate jokes, your aunt who's a bitch for no reason, or your cousin who's been coming on to you since you were a teenager. Like,
so what do you think happened then? Like, what do you think led to this between them?
I you know, no one can really speculate, but it just
well, we
relationship
can speculate, but nobody can really know.
Right. Well, right. Nobody can know. We can speculate, but even the speculation is kind of silly. I would, at the bare minimum, people evolve, and they and I've had friendships with people that it's been.
Is that another way of people saying we just didn't know how to keep the romance alive? Because maybe there's a science to romance, like there is to everything else. There's a science to sex. There's a science to communication. There's a science to romance as well. And maybe because so many people don't really know what they're doing, they're just going off of feelings, thinking that the feelings in and of themselves take care of everything. But no, like everything, there is a science to sustaining and prioritizing these things.
But that's, we all know that's not what's all that sustains a marriage. You can lose that and still remain married. I think they had a pretty good synergistic relationship because what I've seen, and I agree with, to what I know, is that Kandi had the funds and Todd had the ideas. So I think that worked until it didn't work, or you know. We don't know. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't imagine, except the fact that 11 years is a long time to be with somebody. You know, that just seems, that's not shocking. That's not shocking to me. If they married and 6 months later they divorced, which that happens all the time, that's when you're like, what the fuck? And they've been together for 10 years before that. They get married and then that's
the whole thing gone. Yeah.
Right. That's shocking. This isn't shocking. I mean, to me, it's, and I hate the
kind of shocking. It's like y'all just had kids, girl. You just won lifetime achievement and filed for divorce 3 days later. Like,
I think that was strategic. Of course, it's because and
I bag that she even accepted the award knowing what the tea was.
Well, and because he was a huge part of that franchise too, so she'd have to.
I would have told Bravo, I don't think I'm the best candidate this year, considering what I know. I know I'm on the way out of wife title, and y'all about to award me the lifetime achievement award. But I guess it's still a success.
Yes,
because,
I agree. Yep.
They did this thing for 11 years.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that how many marriages, and I think she's probably the only one, it started on Bravo, and then it lasted 11 years. That is something that needs to be acknowledged, not needs to, in the Bravo world, should be acknowledged. The fact that you met the person while shooting a housewife show, and then you're married to them for 11 years, and then granted she's not on the show anymore, it ends, and it is what it is. But I think that's admirable.
I just love how so many of y'all are just literally fixated on this idea that their open relationship policy is what led to this.
Yeah. Who's fixated on that? That's silly.
The vet says 11 years is a very long time, but I knew things was going downhill when they invited someone else into that damn
that could be true, but 11 years, that's a long time to be hanging on to that. I think it's just outgrowing.
In and of itself, that inviting somebody else and having fun time as a couple in and of itself somehow leads to breakdown, when we know that most marriages in this country were failing for economic reasons.
Exactly.
Not per se because of open door policy.
Exactly. To blame it on another person when it seems that they were both eager
I actually think a lot of these couples who divorced might have stayed together had they had the finances right and played together as well.
Yeah.
I can repressed and suppressed ideas of monogamy. I think it's not enough people actually moving or allow themselves to understand that you can take whatever creative approach you want to your relationship. It doesn't have to
exactly.
It doesn't have to look like your mom's relationship. It doesn't have to look like nobody else's relationship. That your relationship can look like you can make your relationship in the image of your ideas.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best thing about this day and time, even though there are people who are slow to the nuances of like marriage and relationships, is that you can make it to whatever you want it to be. It's a partnership. So if we decide this is how we want to work it, then it should be cool. But if one of the we doesn't want to do it anymore, well, then that should be okay too.
Exactly.
So
that we do all things together.
We
put it on the table together. We take it off the table together.
Right.
We think about what each other's needs looks like. We get to the table to explore that and to engage that, because at the end of the day, what's interesting about relationships and humans is that you have both of those phenomena together. You have these ideas that are intersecting and overlapping with human nature. And so understanding both of those things and trying to find a balance in y'all's ideas and expectations, while at the same time making space for human capacity and human nature. I think that these are all things that we have to improve upon in order to make sure that relationships are not, that relationships are truly fulfilling and that they're congruent to human nature. Because, hey, who we were 10 years ago might be who the fuck we're not 10 years later. What will this look like? Will we, what are we going to do if we both start growing separately? Are we trying to grow together here ultimately? Or, if we grow separately, are we willing to revisit the terms and conditions of our relationship, including dissolving the relationship or creating different dynamics as a result of where we, it's just like all of it is about that communication. Like, just communication is the most powerful asset that any or two people can have in any situation, is the art of communicating.
Right.
Yeah.
Just in general, communication is a necessity to any relationship, whether it's a coworker, it's a boss. And hey, Rumors and Tea, long time no see.
Hey,
here.
Rumors.
So it's important in general to communicate, and also to respect the other part of your relationship and say, okay, we're done. Or I'm done. I'm not feeling, and I hate that people are saying that Todd feel emasculated. Since when? Did he say it? If he didn't say it, then we can't really.
Because Todd had a lot of time to consider that before he even married her. I mean, like he knew who she
Exactly.
was.
He's going to be second fiddle.
Yeah.
Which with a personal experience. My mom, she's had a couple husbands. And she's made more than them, and one had a problem with it. I mean, it's real. It's real. It's real. You know, it's 100% real. But again, yeah, you don't know until you're in it to fully understand how you're going to feel about it. But only you have control over your feelings. So if you're feeling emasculated, it's because you're letting whatever situation. There's a great saying that no one can't. Oh, I forgot what it was, but basically, no one's in charge of your feelings. You are. So if you're going to no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. That's what that's one of my favorite sayings. And it's changed my outlet and my perception of things. Like I can't like she made me feel. No, nobody can make you feel anything. You're accepting it. You know, you're agreeing to it. So that emasculation, I think that's a projection that a man clearly, if a woman makes more money, then clearly the man feels emasculated, and that's not true. That's ignorant.
Yeah. You know, like the thing that makes the most sense to me is that both of their ambitions probably costed them the marriage, because they both seem to be very outgoing, ambitious individuals. And I can see how that can accidentally, inadvertently corrode the relationship itself, because you know, you're very, you know, I mean, the more you're taking on, the less time you really have for each other. And maybe somebody has more needs than the other has. Maybe somebody's better at being distracted and having multiple than other things. Somebody made a comment earlier that Kandi, you know, seemingly expressed that she wanted Todd to be around a lot more. So not having that emotional ability from a partner.
Oh, that just rung a bell, a memory. There was a one season. I don't think it was the last season she was on, but they did like a marriage counseling and they seemed on two different pages. It was very obvious in certain situations that they were on two different pages. I think they made it work. You know, they compromised to a certain degree, but there was something where, and then she was crying at some point, him not being there. And then there was at one point in time, he had an apartment in New York, and they disagree, like money. Granted, she has more than he does, but I think she's very, I think very, mindful of how much money she has and where she puts it. But I think he was maybe a little bit more adventurous, and she seems very miserly. So that could also kind of weigh, I think, on a relationship too, like you said.
Absolutely.
Economically, and then I would doubt there's a couple conversations like, well, I'm funding this shit, so I got something to say about it. You know, it's like this shit gotta be, when they were opening up restaurant after restaurant, and then that whole like that blaze and the food, and it's like and then OG, I think that could also that can break up a marriage just by itself, is having a business, that kind of a restaurant together. Because the OLG closing is like shocking, I think, to a lot of people. Just all of a sudden it seemed popular, but it's like they couldn't get together. But the restaurant business is difficult.
Yeah, because they both, you know, because businesses have gone under. Some of the businesses have gone under.
Right.
Food, you know.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. By owners, you know, it's been a lot. You know, a lot. Of, you know, it's stressful, especially on a relationship that may be already stressed for other reasons. On top of that, so. Baby, what you laughing at?
Rumors and T saying OLG food was nasty.
A lot of people said that it tastes like a Play-Doh chapter, that the chicken was given Play-Doh.
Well, at some point, I think it was good, and I think they just didn't hold on to it or something.
Over-seasoned or under-seasoned.
Yeah, there was no consistency. I think that'll ruin a restaurant.
and then people were getting shot in the parking lot and shit.
Okay, well,
just ghetto, honey. My God.
I think and when you have a restaurant, granted, I have never owned one. You need consistency, and I think they were having problems with that too. You just can't, just be inconsistent. When people stand in line for 2 hours and come sit down, and they're expecting to have the same experience as everyone else. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to hold on to that success, and so.
Take the time to really get your formula right. I think that they both do their fair share of acting very impulsively on ideas and not spending a lot of time really
Right.
finding those ideas and wrinkling out those ideas, because a lot is on the line since they're also a public figure. So all this is, it's going to be a reflection of their competency. So I think that should make them even more intentional and patient in how they go about things. But I got a feeling that we're going to be learning a lot about kind of especially about this prenup as a divorce plays out. We're going to be seeing what the nuances thereof.
Right. Did you? I don't see you as a huge Real Wives of Atlanta Housewives fan, but
I used to be.
Yeah, really? Did you watch Atlanta like pretty?
Yeah, I grew up on it. That's why I was crying earlier. I was,
oh, that was real crying.
My uncle and my auntie. They got together at the time that I was a fan. I probably fell off the last 3-4 seasons of Housewives. It got redundant to me and stupid.
Yeah.
I lost my for it. But I grew up on it. It feels like a part of the last 10 plus years of my life.
So you saw the episode, the prenuptial episode, right?
Absolutely.
Which was that right there was intense enough to think they wouldn't have made it 11 years. So the fact that they did after that, I think I gotta give them kudos, because that was
surviving Mama Joyce for 11 years. It's
cute,
stuff, baby.
Cute.
That alone is a success.
Yeah. I mean, they gave us little whispers of the prenup, the fact that once they're divorced, he's got to be out of there in like 6 months or something like that.
And then I think there was some disputes around child support, and I guess who would disseminate that, because I think Kandi was like, girl, I'm the breadwinner. I'm definitely not paying nobody no more for child support. Like, that's not going to happen. And there was some other disputes.
Oh, I don't remember that part, but I mean, I believe, I don't remember that.
They worked it out some way, somehow. They got it together. So
yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna leave with a nice chunk. I mean,
I hope that they pull the reverse Uno. I hope that Iyanla get up in this thing. They should have gave us because Iyanla coming out with a new reality show, which I'm so happy to see her back on. Yes, back being mother and gathering the girls up. They should have been on the new season of Iyanla. Like, I don't want to see them divorce. I don't want Ace and Blaze to go through this. I want them to divorce afterwards. Like,
after what? After they have a talk, they talk to Iyanla. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I just want them to just stay together, at least until Ace and Blaze are like, are grown and out of the house, and then divorce. Like, just raise Ace and Blaze in a cohesive household. Even though co-parenting can be done successful as well, but it's just like, y'all could have just hung in there until the kids were, both kids are still young. They have a 9 and 5-year-old. It's just like, I don't know. I feel more so bad for the kids. I just hate that they are having, to now adapt to but separate household, and then they're going to have to watch their parents move on. They're going to have to deal with their own feelings about whoever Kandi gonna have in her life, whoever talk. It's just, y'all could have just waited until they were just grown to just do this.
But would you want 2 unhappy parents raising children?
I would want them to use the assignment as a way to figure out what happiness needs to look like for the sake of the collective, for the sake
even if it's fake happiness,
but not insincere, like functional happiness. I would like to say
but happiness. If I feel that I can't function in a house with you in it, then what we doing? You know?
I feel like we can play pretend for the kids and still have our own separate lives in all actuality. We can still, have a household. I can have my girlfriend, you can have your boyfriend, or we can explore more what open policies look, or we can use the fact that we are married. We embarked upon creating a family together, creating an entire empire together, really figure out where we lost it at. Have we really explored how we got here? Have we really did the deep dive in the autopsy on what went wrong here? And that's why I was saying earlier in the stream, I wonder how much work they've put into like couples counseling and really just exploring what's happening here, because it's possible that what's happening here can be repaired. It's possible that, through some adjustments and some disciplines and some communication and some more unveiling, that we can correct what's happening here. It's like, divorce to me, or breakups, whether it's family breakups, friendship breakups, romantic breakups, are a lot like contracting cancer. Like, it's possible that if you catch it early, it can go into remission and you can reverse this thing. It's just about really investing in what the cancer is here between us. What is that, and putting the proper elements to that to resolve that. And I just really hope that they have done everything they can, and that that they didn't come this far over issues that were repairable. That they didn't come this far over issues that could have been healed up.
Well, there was an episode of them in couples counseling where there was a disconnect, and whether they resolved it, I mean, that we don't know, but say they didn't and they played nice. I mean, that was probably like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. They played nice or thought they could, kind of just work on it, or, smooth it over until they're right back to the situation. Like you said, with the cancer, it's like, oh, you go into remission, cancer free, we're cool, and then it's back, and then we deal with it. Okay, I'm cancer free, and then we're cool, and then it's back. So then it's like, well, I'm tired. And at some point, there are times where it's like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done.
And that's okay. Like, because sometimes doing the work is coming to the healthy conclusion.
Right. Yes.
We are better.
Yeah.
Than to do well. But I just hope that everybody going through all of the things, like,
I hope so too,
have put in the work to make sure, because to make sure that if you're going to walk away, that you are really walking away because of something objective, and not because of bullshit, not because of your own egotism, not because of your own selfishness, not because of your own whatever, because like, we are in this world to bond with human beings, and we are in this world to enjoy each other and to have great experiences of community and camaraderie with each other. And I just feel like in this era, we have, it's just not enough people invested in majoring in how to stay together, more so than justifying being apart. And I just hope that people just put in that work. And if you put in that work, the conclusion that it don't work, hey, that's okay. As I said in the beginning, short-lived fairy tales are still nonetheless fairy tales. So take away from the impact and all the things that became the things. So people play their role for a season, for a time. So it's okay. But I do think that when you have children involved, and you bring them into this, that you do have an extra bit of responsibility to be more lucid in awareness. If it was just Kandi and Todd without the kids, then it's whatever. But I do think that when kids are involved, it should be a sworn duty mandate that the parents make sure that they're really figuring this out first before they call it quits, because it's not just about y'all in this instance.
Right.
So I hope they did that.
Yeah,
if they did that and they still had got here, okay, cool.
And it seems to me that that's probably what is happening. I just saw Medusa's comment about she or he or they think it's going to be nasty, and I would respectfully disagree, possibly, because neither has disparaged each other in public.
Yet.
So the likely, yeah, I mean, yet I'm not saying it's not going to happen. No, I agree. But sometimes there's little pink flags of, I don't really respect this person very much. And what it appears is that prenup is pretty ironclad, and he has the right to dispute it, of course. That's his, I guess, his right to do that. But it seems like it was pretty with that episode. I mean, we've had a little glimpse of reality, quote unquote reality of what's going on with the relationship. I think Kandi's pretty transparent. So besides this, what's coming up, like, oh, we're about to get divorced. I think that really shocked people. I don't think it was but I think also she was transparent with that couple section, and I think there's only one, I don't remember, but it seemed that there, I mean, problems in a relationship that I think are pretty normal, but the what we're going to do with them is what's going to determine the outcome of this relationship. And maybe it seems like there was no more give and take. It was all, drawing of the line.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I totally get it. And it's sad because they are a beautiful couple and they've made such pop culture history together.
Yeah,
they're such a staple, and they have these beautiful kids. And so I do remember Riley calling out Kandi in the episode saying, "You sit your motherfucking ambitious ass down. You better could raise my ass a growing up. Why are you having another kid and y'all got all this shit y'all trying to do? It don't find some more balance, because y'all think just having kids and then having the financial means to take care of them is what the solution is. No, you have the time to really be nurturing and provide the intimacy necessary for that parental child relationship thing to really, hit the ground running."
Yeah.
So I was just like, woo, child, now, Kandi, you can't listen to your own daughter, girl. And she had to live through it. I mean, I don't know who else. I mean, she lived through it. She survived your ambition. She survived.
Yeah.
So I mean, if there's anybody who can tell you, girl, what this thing looks like from the other side,
right?
Riley, who
and she, still, I mean, people gonna do what they gonna do. I mean, despite the obvious, and the fact that your child is telling you, a child who is mature beyond, you can ever imagine. And she's telling you, this is the life and the fact that you ignored it is kind of fucked up. but I think that some people,
that's your ambition, because it's who Kandi is.
Right. And also,
full steam ahead.
Right, full steam ahead. And also, I think, and this is not supported by anything, but I think there's a lot of women who have relationships, have a child. I want to be married. I want, quote unquote, a legitimate family. You know what I'm saying? I think I almost fell into that, and I didn't. But I think a lot of women are, because that's a societal thing that, a marriage legitimizes not only you but your children. So I think that was also kind of in the mix too. So I don't necessarily blame her for that. Someone need to feed her. Look, Tibet, they've eaten. I'm talking like to myself out loud. They're concerned.
Well, the good news is we are at the hour and a half mark anyway. So this was a great discussion.
You're right. She's concerned because I'm talking to myself or the TV, and she's like, "What's going on?"
Making sure, honey, the queen is good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's what was neat to me. That bitch ate long time ago. So anyway.
Yes, honey. Since ain't no animal violations and cruelty going on over here.
I know that's right. Everybody's tucked in the bed. Everybody's in the bed with multiple covers. I should probably be in the bed, but I feel like I need to throw in my 2 cents.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yes. Well, thank you for being up here, boy.
Well, thank you.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yes.
It's been a minute since I'd hollered at you. So.
That was our shot of you guys. Great show, you guys. Breaking news, sad news. Kandi and Todd are officially divorcing. Kandi announced this to People Magazine, child. So, you know, we'll see what happens, girl. You know, they might go through with it. There's a chance they may pull the reverse Uno. It's happened before. Hell, Greg and Nene, you know, had divorced and got back together. So, you know, you just never know. You know, Kim and Croy went back and forth for a long time of calling it quits, getting back together, calling it quits. So, you know, who knows? You know, I just am sending light and love to the Tucker and Burruss household. You guys tell me what you all think in the comment section below. Please thumbs up the video, share. Of course, we are going to maintain all updates and developments on the things going forward out of the Kandi Burruss universe. And if you guys enjoyed yourself, you can always donate to the platform at Cash App, $Consciouztv, and or PayPal.me. So that's Consciouztv, and that's Conscious with the Z on the end, just like it is here on the channel. All information and hyperlinks are in the description box below. Have a great Friday. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.